Welcome. We are on day 25 of the chronological Bible in a year. Take a breath and take a moment to celebrate that you have set this time aside to hear God's word. Let's begin. Job chapter 22. Then Eliphaz the Temanite responded, "Can a strong man be of use to God, or a wise one be useful to himself? Is it any pleasure to the Almighty if you are righteous, or if you make your ways blameless? Is it because of your reverence that he punishes you, that he enters into judgment against you? Is your wickedness not abundant? And is there no end to your guilty deeds? For you have seized pledges from your brothers without cause, and stripped people naked. You have given the weary no water to drink, and you have withheld bread from the hungry. But the earth belongs to a powerful man, and one who is honorable dwells on it. You have set widows away empty, and the strength of orphans has been crushed. Therefore, traps surround you, and sudden dread terrifies you, or darkness so that you cannot see, and a flood of water covers you. Is God not in the height of heaven? Look also at the highest stars, how high they are. But you say, what does God know? Can he judge through the thick darkness? Clouds are a hiding place for him, so that he cannot see, and he walks on the vault of heaven. Will you keep to the ancient path which wicked people have walked, who were snatched away before their time, whose foundations were washed away by a river? They said to God, go away from us. And what can the Almighty do to them? Yet he filled their houses with good things. But the advice of the wicked is far from me. The righteous see and are glad, and the innocent mock them, saying, truly our enemies are eliminated, and fire has consumed their abundance. Be reconciled with him, and be at peace. Thereby good will come to you. Please receive instruction from his mouth, and put his words in your heart. If you return to the Almighty, you will be restored. If you remove injustice far from your tent, and put your gold in the dust, and the gold of Ophir among the stones of the brooks, then the Almighty will be your gold and abundant silver to you. For then you will take pleasure in the Almighty, and lift up your face to God, and will pray to him, and he will hear you, and you will pay your vows. You will also decide something, and it will be established for you, and light will shine on your ways. When they have brought you low, you will speak with confidence, and he will save the humble person. He will rescue one who is not innocent, and he will be rescued due to the cleanliness of your hands. Job chapter 23. Then Job responded, even today my complaint is rebellion. His hand is heavy despite my groaning. Oh, that I knew how to find him, that I might come to his home. I would present my case before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I would learn the words which he would answer and perceive what he would tell me. Would he contend with me by the greatest of his power? No, surely he would pay attention to me. There the upright would argue with him, and I would be free of my judge forever. Behold, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I cannot perceive him. When he acts on the left, I cannot see him. He turns to the right, but I cannot see him. But he knows the way I take. When he has put me to the test, I will come out as gold. My foot has held onto his path. I have kept his way and have not turned aside. I have not failed the command of his lips. I have treasured the word of his mouth more than my necessary food. but he is unique, and who can make him turn? Whatever his soul desires, he does it, for he carries out what is destined for me, and many such destinies are with him. Therefore, I would be terrified at his presence. When I consider this, I am frightened of him. It is God who has made my heart faint, and the Almighty who has terrified me. But I am not destroyed by darkness, nor by deep gloom which covers me. Job chapter 24. Why are times not stored up by the Almighty? And why do those who know him not see his days? People remove landmarks. They seize and devour flocks. They drive away the donkeys of orphans, and they seize the widow's ox as a pledge. They push the needy aside from the road. The poor of the land have to hide themselves together. Behold, like wild donkeys in the wilderness, they go out scavenging for food in their activity. As bread for their children in the desert, they harvest their feed in the field and glean the vineyard of the wicked. They spend the night naked without clothing, and they have no covering against the cold. They are wet from the mountain rains, and they hug the rock for lack of a shelter. Others snatch an orphan from the breast, and they seize it as a pledge against the poor. The poor move about naked without clothing, and they carry sheaves while going hungry. Within the walls they produce oil. They tread wine presses but go thirsty. From the city people groan, and the souls of the wounded cry for help. Yet God does not pay attention to the offenses. Others have been with those who rebel against the light. They do not want to know its ways, nor stay in its paths. The murderer arises at dawn. He kills the poor and the needy, and at night he is like a thief. The eye of the adulterer watches for twilight, saying, "No eye will see me," and he disguises his face. In the darkness they dig houses. They shut themselves up by day. They do not know the light. For the morning is the same to him as thick darkness, for he is familiar with the terrors of thick darkness. They are insignificant on the surface of the water. Their plot of land on the earth is cursed. They do not turn toward the vineyards. Dryness and heat snatch away the snow waters, and Sheol snatches those who have sinned. A mother will forget him. The maggot feeds sweetly until he is no longer remembered, and injustice will be broken like a tree. He wrongs the infertile woman and does no good for the widow, but he drags off the mighty by his power. He rises, but no one has assurance of life. He provides them with security, and they are supported, and his eyes are on their ways. They are exalted a little while, then they are gone. Moreover, they are brought low, and like everything they are gathered up. Like the heads of grain they wither. Now, if it is not so, who can prove me a liar and make my speech worthless? Job chapter 25. Then Bildad the Shuhite responded, "Dominion and awe belong to him who makes peace in his heights. Is there any number to his troops, and upon whom his light not rise? How then can mankind be righteous with God? Or how can anyone who was born of woman be pure? If even the moon has no brightness, and the stars are not pure in his sight, how much less man than maggot, and a son of man, that worm?" Thank you for listening. I pray that the seed of God's word will be planted in your heart and will continue to grow.